Good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing? My goodness, we've got a lot of people on here. It's going to be an awesome, awesome day. I hope everybody's got their coffee or your beverage of choice. I'm telling you, I'm like scrambling around here. I've got my phone going, my laptop going, my desktop going. I'm getting ready for a big day, you guys. This is amazing. This is so awesome. Well, listen, I'm Quenna. I'm from Little Rock, Arkansas. And about 2 years ago, I decided that I wanted to get with everybody, well, mainly my team, because I knew that this was going to be, a wild ride, or I felt like it was. And I felt like I had so much to learn. And I thought, well, I'll do like what I've always been taught to do by one of the best leaders in the world that's going to be on the call with me this morning. But as I learned, I would immediately teach it to my team. So I thought, well, you know what good it will be. I mean, I'm hoping that it would be as we're starting to move into this whole digital arena, new technology, something that I truly did not understand, and still so many questions and things, but man, the awesomeness. If I have to choose to go into an unknown world, it's going to be with Mr. Sites, with Nitsa, Nakos, Priska King, tons of other leaders that we have here. My goodness, Cheryl Lynn Gober, Tammy Morrison, Michael Dalco. We just have a wonderful group of people here. But I was thinking I could get with my team every week. We could do some training. We could do some inspiration. We could get together just for coffee. What would we be talking about on a Saturday morning if we got together? What would our discussion be from, in the carrot bars world, in the cryptocurrency world, in the economy, what's going on, or maybe just building an organization? There's so many things that I've learned about this endeavor. Very, very happy in building homes. We do that full time. And just what I've learned in business, and then how that relates to, where we're at now. And as I watch Mr. Sites going through adjustments and, just to make a project come together is so very challenging. It's rewarding, but I always relate it to building houses. And sometimes we have to make adjustments. We have the end goal in mind, which is to have a beautiful home that people can call home, they can be proud of, that we can be proud of. We can drive by it in the neighborhood. We see, how awesome it is and enjoy that. But how behind the scenes, there are so many things that we have to do to adjust. And there's never one house that's exactly the same. The other thing is, this particular endeavor has made a difference in our life. And that is, we were able to pay for college tuition for both of our kids. My son and his wife, they met each other in carrot bars. I'm 50 now, but at 46, I realized that this was a huge purpose for me. Set aside from being a wife and a mom and a business owner, this was my purpose, was to be here for you guys and for you to be there for me. And so every Saturday we record these. I have a YouTube channel, Coffee with Quenna and Friends, and you can go and subscribe to that. It's a free subscription, and you can get recordings that we do every single week. But one of the things, and I want to tell you guys, one of the things that I believe is so true with this, and I believe that it's such a big reason for success in my life and in so many others. What we have here, this Carrot Bars family, and it even goes beyond the Synergy Gold family, is the unity. There's a wide variety of different backgrounds and different lives and all of that, but we all have one goal, and that is to help Mr. Sites go to the masses of people. And I feel like that the reason why we have such a tremendous success rate is because we understand that it doesn't matter. Like Russ and I are business owners. We have a certain level of no quit in us, no matter what. That's not for all builders. That's not for all business owners, but for me and Russ, we just have this deep level of commitment and with certain projects, and this is one of those. But I see a wide variety of backgrounds and experiences and all of that. But yet we all follow the same system. We all have the same goal in mind. Why is it that somebody with no experience like me in a traditional network marketing can be successful? And it's where I had to let go of some of my thoughts and everything, but realize the common things that I have with, like the Helene Walters, the Perla Herados, the Nitsa Nakoses, Priska King, Shelley Barnaby, Brian Onik, who we had last week, Michael Dalco. What is it that we have a common thing about us? There's a drive in wanting to see this come to pass. It's a challenge, and I'm all for that. Definitely, I love it. I love the fact that it's something that I can grab a hold of, that commitment and no quit inside of me, and I can move forward and I can help other people move forward. It's not this whole thing on Saturday that's grown to a couple hundred people is, and today we're going to hit 300, and I'm giving you time. See, I talk to you so you can text your team and make sure their booties are on this call. But anyway, today's going to be totally awesome. But I don't do these things because I'm craving to be in front of people. That's not it. I have a craving to see you be different and do you be totally successful. And regardless of whether you've had tons of network marketing experience before, whether you've been successful or you haven't, no matter what, the end result is that you're successful. For you to have an understanding of why is this company so very strong at this particular time in our lives, in our personal lives, but for the world, for the global economy, how and why is this so strong? And there has to be a level of no quit in us, because the people that you bring into this endeavor, if you quit, what happens to them? What happens to them? There are people in my life that are not even in my organization that I'm the closest to, that I value who they are, their experience, their no quit, because there are days I want to quit, that I say, is it really worth it? And then I look at some of those other people and I say, you know, because of the people that we have in leadership here, who we have as our CEO and who he partners with, and the companies that want to partner with us, the individuals that want to partner with us, that is so much bigger than what my little bit of knowledge is. That there has to be more than what my emotions are and whether I want to or not. It's bigger than that. And so that's what Saturdays are for me. It's not a place where it replaces the huddle. Absolutely not. It's where we can just come together for coffee and beverage of choice, and we all have to drink to start this thing. This is awesome. Okay, let me see if I can get this up there. Y'all see that's a Starbucks cup, right? It's hilarious because before we get into this, y'all, it is so funny. Russ this is like mine and his favorite cup, and we only have one. And it was hilarious because he and Caleb went to Starbucks one day. And a lot of times we'll meet clients there if we're not meeting them, you know, at the office or whatever. And Starbucks served them their drink and this. And so Russ and Caleb just took it that this was theirs to take home, and y'all, they brought them home. Anyway, we fought over these cups, so I wanted to give you a little laugh. I don't know if you laughed or you're kind of rolling your eyes like, oh, that was stupid. But anyway, that's that. But talking about people before we get started, there is somebody that's very, very close to me that is behind the scenes. She's actually working behind the scenes right now. She puts my slides together every week. We talk every week. We share personal lives as well as professional. And it's my golden sister, Perla Gerardo, from El Paso. And you guys, you know, you see her leading that group. They're big time leaders in carrot bars. And today is her birthday. And I want every single person on the call today to, if you don't say happy birthday in the chat, which I wish you would, say something about her, her inspiration, she is beautiful inside as much as she is on the outside. She's absolutely gorgeous. Her story, she's a single mom, and Carrot Bars has changed her life. It was a way that she could save and build a financial legacy for her kids. Not only that, but her family, her parents. They're beautiful, beautiful people. And I want everybody to tell her happy birthday. But if you're friends with her on Facebook, or even if you're not, you can send her a private message or go to her wall and tell her happy birthday. I want her to know how much she is so tremendously appreciated. So, okay, we're going to dive in, y'all, because we're going to fly through these things because we have got to get to our guest. And this is going to be an amazing, amazing call. We're going to address some different questions, probably questions that you have. We're going to get answers to those. More information that will kind of broaden your view, your vision of what this company and everything is all about, and the mission and the project that we're doing. Besides, it's all about the foundation of gold. But I want you guys to know, did you see this latest news that came out? If you go and you log in at carrotbars.com, you log in there and you go to the general tab, there down on the list, you'll see latest news. This is where you're going to see the very latest news. And there are times where it'll be quiet, and then there's other times where it will just, we'll have latest news one right after the other. And since last Saturday, this one came out, which I believe it was yesterday, and it's talking about the E-points, the cash gold, and the gold miner. And the big deal about this is y'all know how the awesomeness that we have with the multi-packs, and we get a match. We get, and it depends on which one we get. There's 7 different ones, but it depends on which one we get. But we can get matches of all of the multi-packs up to 7 levels that are sold in our organization. We can get E-points, we can get a gold match, and then also the gold miner, which is something on Carrot Bit. When you participate in that by turning it on, it's an automated thing where it'll take 75 KBCs every week. This is actually the first thing that came into play to put our coin into utilization mode. And it will allow you to get a gold match on multi-packs when you don't have a multi-pack, or maybe the multi-pack doesn't cover all the levels. It will allow you to get a gold match on all the multi-packs that are going on in your organization, up to 7 levels, depending on what your dual team status is: bronze, silver, gold, or VIP. And we have been waiting and waiting. We've definitely been selling the multi-packs, but we haven't been able to see our match. The only thing that we've been able to see are the E-points that came directly with our multi-pack that we purchased, okay? So what this latest news is telling you, that if you you log in at Carrot Bars, you go to My Gold, you can go down, it's the bottom one that says Transaction Overview, and you'll be able to see the all the E-points, y'all. I looked at that this morning because it came live this morning. I looked at that and I was going, oh my God, this is so exciting. And then the gold that comes from, the gold sales through the gold miner, as well as the multi-packs. So this is totally, totally awesome. I want to bring that to your attention today. This slide is incorrect, but I just found that out from Priska. We were going to have the ACES Leadership Boot Camp, which I don't know if you guys are attending these things. They are absolutely phenomenal. And it's where the top leaders in Synergy Gold are teaching leadership. And this has been awesome. We put it into play in 2019. We're continuing on in 2020. It used to be where it was our directors and above that could attend these boot camps, but we've opened it up to the host Synergy Gold family or Carrot Bars family that want to attend. And the one that was going to be happening today was with Teresa Humes, Go Director Elite to Teresa Humes from Kentucky. And that now next week, and we'll talk about that in just a second, is going to be the global event, the Super Saturday, that's going to be online. So Teresa, it's had to be postponed until the 21st. So next Saturday is the big Super Saturday. The following Saturday, you're going to want to mark that on your calendar, because it'll be the same time, 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern. It will be at synergygoteam.com, which is this channel. It's just the date has changed from the 7th to the 21st. So y'all be sure and mark your calendars for that. And then here is the, the information about the virtual Super Saturday, which will be amazing. You can see the leaders that will be there. You can also see that Jürgen Pulvermuller from corporate will be speaking to us as well. But we've got all these leaders that will be presenting. So phenomenal. You do not want to miss this. We've got watch parties happening all around the world that will be going on. So March the 14th, it begins at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern. It will go till 5 o'clock p.m. Eastern. And at the same channel, synergygoteam.com, because we're going to have a full day of this. We will not be having coffee session next Saturday. So we won't be meeting for coffee next Saturday, but I want to make sure there is nothing that's interfering with this virtual Super Saturday. It's going to be awesome. So make sure that you and your teams know about this, okay? All right, I always like to highlight, and I will continue to do this as we get more and more of our products, but here's some more pictures that came out of people that received their K1 Impulse. Y'all, and this is just, we just have 4 pictures of tons of people that have received them, and I'm gonna highlight mine again. I've received 6. I've got more that are on the way, and I know I'm crazy about it. I'm crazy about it, but I'm gonna give them away. It's gonna be awesome, but I want you guys to know that there, at this time when we see, people being negative and talking about the phones and I mean, there's positive and negative, but what I'm saying is sometimes if you have a tendency to kind of gravitate to the negativity, I want to celebrate these things because I want you to see another perspective. And I also want you to know there are people, Ralph Hutchinson, corporate is doing tutorials. Sean Maloney has done a tutorial. Brian McGinty, that they've made it very, very simple for us. And I want you to tap into those things, those tools, those tutorials that we have, and also realize that this, as we're moving forward, you're going to learn more and more and more and more. And I find that a lot of times our negativity can come from just the space of us not knowing. It's not being educated and it's doing something different. That's never fun to, a lot of times if there's challenges in learning something, especially if you're kind of illiterate in that way, I ask, let's join being very, very positive. Y'all, this is totally awesome. This equipment that's coming out, the privacy, we're going to talk more about that with Nitsa in a few minutes. But this, I am highlighting all of the Monday night huddles, but the main one that I want you to go and grab the recording to, it was probably the best huddle call that we've had, is this past Monday night when Brandon Curtis, who is also an affiliate, explained such detail. That's somebody that knows about privacy challenges, security challenges. That's what his career is. That's what his professional world is. He has a business that helps people with securing their systems and privacy issues and all that. Totally knows all about that arena. And he talked about the phones and y'all and the computer, the WIM. And please, please, please increase your knowledge by going and grabbing that recording. But we have our Synergy team huddles every single Monday night. We've been doing that for 6 years, 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern at synergygoteam.com. We know that there's people all around the world that maybe that's in the middle of the night for them, but they can go and grab the recording. Synergy has a YouTube channel as well that you can subscribe to, and it's free. And so if you go Synergy Gold Group channel, that's the one that has all the recordings, but it also has tutorials on the phones and everything. So you'll find some very, very valuable information there. But mark your calendar every Monday night to get more detail on corporate updates, the calendars, everything that's coming up, tips from the top, success stories. It is a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful way to plug in. So we want to make sure that you know about that. Okay, this is going to be awesome, everybody. And I'm going to be interviewing Nitsa Nakos today. So many of people, not just in Synergy, but Carrot Bars International, the whole entire thing, corporate, knows this woman, knows her leadership. And I can tell you right now, I am not the same person. I know that there's different components mixed together that make me who I am, but I would not be here today. I'm going to tell you right now, if it was not for this woman, the systems that she has in place, the servant-driven leadership skills that she possesses and instills in her team, that is why we are so tremendously successful. And one, that it's not about the money. And just like this week in our leadership calls, she was talking about that in these times of where it may seem uncertain, or maybe there's challenges or whatever, it's in those times that you push through, that you become and you go to the next level. And I appreciate her so much. But y'all, Rolex qualifier, she's on the Carrot Bars Field Advisory Council. She is a 3-time Mercedes qualifier. Now listen, you guys, I can't believe I'm not wearing my watch. I wear it every Saturday, but I was in a hurry, I didn't grab it. But let me tell you something, I'm working so hard to get to the first-time Mercedes. This woman has dominated this long-term incentive plan. And, I listened to her this week, and I realized that I was so excited because we've had this plan that she was going to be on with us. And I listened to her this week, and I said, you know what? This is what we've got to tell the people. This is what, she was saying that as well. And so I want to just give it up. I want us all to give it up for Nitsa. In the chat, I want you to put just a little special thing in there as why she means so much to you, because Nitsa, it does not go unnoticed, woman. We love you so, so much. And I'm so happy that we get to visit today, that you're going to be on coffee with us at 6:30 or 7 o'clock in the morning for you.
It is. And good morning. Good morning. Is a little froggy out of my throat yet?
Yeah, you're loud and clear. You sound good.
It is. What a wonderful introduction, Quenna. It's great to be here with everybody, and I am sporting my cup. Not of coffee. I actually quit drinking coffee this year. This is lemon water that I drink every single morning, and I just want to show my cup. It says, "Don't mess with Texas."
Oh.
So this is a little bit of a plug, Quenna, for our virtual Super Saturday that's actually happening next weekend. This time next weekend, we're all going to be getting ready for that Super Saturday event, which was going to be, of course, in Dallas, but we're making it a Dallas Goes Global event. So anyway, Quenna, such a great job that you do here, just week in and week out. Thank you very, very much. It's truly an honor to be here with you this morning. Thank you. And thank you everyone for all your love and all your support and those beautiful messages. And if I may, I just want to wish the birthday girl, if I can, because everybody deserves to be recognized on their birthday. And when you have somebody that is selfless, that does not take, their birthday off, that's here to support a team, when most people, would take their birthday off, and yet she's here to support this call, to support this team. Perla Jurado, you might not know this, but I'm going to tell this publicly. You are an angel, and you are my angel. You know, a few years ago, everyone, I was going through a little bit of a tough time, and you know, I typically go through, you know, my processes more to myself. That's just how I am. So no one really knew what was going on in my life. I hadn't really shared with anybody. And then it was like an angel appeared. I got a parcel delivered at the door, and I opened up the parcel, and it was a book. And that's fantastic, you know, because of course, you know, I love to read, and I was getting ready to go on a vacation. And, you know, so I opened up the book, and, you know, of course I'm looking to see, who is this from? And there was no card, there was no anything, you know, so it was one of these anonymous gifts. And I don't know if any of you have received an anonymous gift before, but I think it's so special when that happens, and especially when it's, you know, a book. And so I just went through the summer, you know, not letting go of, you know, the idea of who sent me this book, and just kind of surrendered to it, and really just read the book. And it was called Why Walk When You Can Fly. And I've lent the book to somebody else, by the way, which is something I love to do after I read a book. Why Walk When You Can Fly. And man, did that ever hit home to me. Taught me some great exercises and how to stay present, you know, in the moment, and really helped me that summer get over some, you know, personal issues that I was having. And so I just want to say happy birthday to the amazing Perla Jurado out there. Thank you for all you do. You are just an absolute blessing to this world. Happy birthday, Perla. Many, many more to come.
She's one of a kind, that's for sure. That is
Mm-hmm.
for sure. Nitsa, you know, this week we spent some really good time in talking, you and I as individuals, but also with our leadership as well. And you know, I got so excited because I felt like that the way that you delivered the content, and then just knowing what's happening behind the scenes, I feel like that sometimes we get caught up in not knowing what goes on behind the scenes. And you know, I think it's important that us as leaders, we help connect the dots, you know. And so what I am, that happened for me this week. And not that I've doubted or anything like that, but I just think that sometimes we need that clarity. And so if it's okay with you, you know, I want to ask you a few questions, and us, you know, move forward with that. But I want to express how much I appreciate you taking that on this week, where you provided some of that clarity, you know. So.
Yeah, well, you know, I just wanted to say about that. I think a lot of people know, you've certainly introduced Quenna, that, you know, I do, you know, very proudly serve on the Carrot Bars Leadership Council. But what that means is, you know, we don't know really everything that goes on behind the scenes. We are really just, like everybody else, Quenna, we may get a little bit of information right before it is to come out. And, you know, what we want to do is, more than anything, just bring the voice of the field into the company. But what, you know, for me, you said something important when you said it helped you connect the dots. You know, I've learned over the last 25 years since I've become self-employed in this space. I've been a self-employed entrepreneur now for 33 years, believe it or not, 33 years. I can't believe I can actually say that. I opened up my first business at the age of 18, but I went into the network marketing space at the age of 25, and really at the age of 30 went full-time. And I've seen a lot over the years with companies, and you know, the development of products, the implementation of products, the execution, the communication, obviously. And we all know Carrot Bars isn't perfect. You know, every company, just like every individual, we all have our own, you know, flaws, but we have to have those little flaws, because that's how we learn and that's how we grow. I absolutely, and I've said this to you, Quenna, so many times, and I've said it publicly, that I will follow Mr. Harold Seitz to the end of the earth. And I have a deep trust for the man, but I admire so much just his ability to see beyond, to see things when things are, not at their best. He sees them way beyond their best. And for me, that's a quality in a person that I admire. And these are the type of people that I want around my circle, the type of people that I want to follow. And that's, one of the key things behind Carrot Bars and my involvement. But just getting back to that, I have learned over the years, Quenna, that when you go all in, and you don't have anything else that you are preoccupied with, including, the stuff that can go on in your mind, when you go all in and you believe, it comes to pass. So my, this week with all of you, speaking, on the leadership, I wanted to instill in you my belief that, what we're enduring right now, some people, may look at it as a time of, just kind of not knowing what do we have, how do we use what we have, how do we go forward, how do we build the coin. I've always known that, the time will come. And so, I just wanted to share that because, I realize that some people might think, wow, well, Nitsa or Priska or, Ms. Tammy Morrison, Ms. Sherilyn Gober, they know everything about what's going on. We're going to go to them. And, and the fact of the matter is, guys, we really, really don't. We're just there to really bring the voice of the company, the voice of our field into the company and to work, at helping to resolve, those ideas and concepts and concerns that the field, has at times. So, but that's, I just wanted to put that out there, Quinn. I'm sorry if I veered a little bit off course, but just important for everybody to know that it's always about a deep belief, no matter what, that brings, light to any situation. And my belief, Quenna, hasn't wavered one bit in 7 years.
Yeah, and I think that that's so strong because whenever we're looking at our leadership and seeing, I mean, I'm looking at how many years that we've been together and the leadership has been together, it's pretty special. And so I think whenever we're in times like this, that we do have to dig down deep and we've got to get that belief system. But, one of the things is the communication has been kind of quiet. We went full force for 2 years of where, I mean, literally, I felt like I was being splashed from every angle. And lots and lots of news, coming out. And then all of a sudden, in December, it kind of got quiet. It can bring on a variety of feelings, especially when people are not experienced with these types of projects or whatever. And it can, it might cause some people to feel a little bit, insecure. Are we okay? Is Carrot Bars okay? Are they stronger than ever? Or are they having to reevaluate and say, it can make people question those things. And so I wanted you to speak to us a little bit about that.
Yes. I want to speak a little bit about that because Carrot Bars, as many of you probably have seen, the speech from Mr. Seitz yesterday, addressing the field, talking about, the company always needing to make adjustments to keep the best interest of the company and the field at heart. And that's really what it all boils down to, Quenna. It's an interesting thing, the Carrot Bars community. We have a community of people, few of which come from the network marketing space, and we have a good, a large group of corporate, experienced folks, and then everyone as diverse as it comes. And we realized that, with communication, I've heard, especially from a lot of networkers over the past few months, why doesn't this company communicate? We aren't used to this, and we always demand communication, and, can't you do something? And, on one hand, we pride ourselves for not being a network marketing company, because really we're not, in a sense that we do offer the same distribution model, which is, word of mouth, affiliate based, but the dogmas, a lot of the, ways network marketing companies operate, how they introduce their product, typically with, a lot of hype, that's not Carrot Bars. And we are dealing with also different cultures, in our community. That's the beauty of having an international, company, that we do have different cultures. And sometimes, what may seem that I speak in English and I hear Mr. Seitz responding, and it might, even though he's speaking to me in English, it might as well be Chinese, because it's a completely, different way of communicating. So I have come to learn that to be very, very patient with Carrot Bars when it comes to communication. But the communication does come. It does come. And when things may appear that they are a little quiet, what often, happens is people begin to panic. Why aren't we hearing anything? What's going on? Are people leaving? There must be problems. That's why, over here in the West, in United States, Canada, we are very expressive. We are, people that demand answers. We are, can be in your face, about that. But it's very different in Europe. And I speak that being also European, my family is Greek, and there is a lot that is said in the unspoken word. And I am not trying now to defend Carrot Bars for not having better communication. Carrot Bars will be the first to tell you that one of the areas that they need to improve upon is their communication to the field. And I believe they are, and they will continue to. But Quenna, we are stronger than ever, because in 2 years, we started 2 years ago with a great idea, and this idea now has actually realized. We have a cryptocurrency that is trading on a number of exchanges. It is it's top 10% or less, 8% of all cryptocurrencies that are on the market. Granted, we've seen, a decline in the coin, but that is understandable. We just came off of a big, ICO phase. So this is typically what happens in the ICO phase. And, since December, as we heard yesterday from Mr. Seitz, they have been adjusting and planning and really coming out this year with a focus to really build the coin, but to use the community, which is our greatest asset, and really something we haven't been using yet, Quenna, to drive volume and to drive capitalization into KBC. So it's a very, very great time. It's a strong time. And like anything, Quenna, and you probably will be the first to attest to this, in 2017, Carrot Bars went through a tough time. Mr. Seitz speaks about it. We're leaving at that time, and there were people who held on, with that belief. And then, ultimately gained, tremendous leverage, right? Over the past have because we've all acquired the coin. But it is so much to be said for the things that are not seen, everybody. And I can't tell you everything that goes on in Carrot Bars, but if there was one thing that I would just love Quenna to be able to do, is just to give my belief to others, borrow my belief. When your belief is not strong, if there was a way to literally give it on a silver platter to people, a golden platter, I think that would be something that I would do like all day long.
Yeah, it's such an important component, especially in times like this, Let's change gears a little bit and let's go to e-points, because e-points, definitely there's been some confusion. It kind of reminds me, but on a broader scale or a bigger scale, kind of reminds me when we switched from KBC and then all of a sudden we found out we have KCB. And I remember thinking, oh my Lord, seriously. And it took me a little bit to be able to grab a hold of that, to where then I could really instill it into my organization. And once I grabbed it, man, we soared, as so many others did as well. But, there's some confusion on the e-points, and it's a totally different concept than what we're used to, but I believe it's beginning to catch on now. We're seeing an increase in sales, and we're starting to see how valuable they are. And, as more and more things are that they're being used for, and that we can use them, we start to see the value that they have in the development of the ecosystem. So, and then, in light of Mr. Site's message yesterday, can you cover the importance of acquiring, and why that needs to be our focus, of acquiring more and more e-points and doing that through the multi-packs and building a team?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, the e-points it's a new system that Carrot Bars has introduced. And, it's the direction that the company is going. So to be in Carrot Bars, to expect, rewards from Carrot Bars, then really the understanding needs to be there about the e-points, and the desire to acquire as many of these e-points as possible really is the game. That's the game plan. Like any new system, it takes time. It takes time to implement. And we're, just at the beginning of that now. The company rolled that out in January. We've got these new packages. We know that e-points, will be exchangeable in the near future, and I do believe that's going to happen this month, that turns on. But between that and then also not really knowing what can we exchange them for, or what are they really worth, that I think for the most part created the confusion, if you will, in the field of, around the e-points, and maybe people stalling and waiting to see a little bit more visibility about them. But today, and you covered it earlier, Quenna, we went to that next phase, so today the reporting in the back office is live. And many people, I got several messages this morning, which I love those types of messages, that said, wow, I've earned, more in e-points and cash gold than what my multi-package cost me, and this was just with a little bit of sales, because we know that sales have not been as high as they can be, or as, they will be as of late. But, to get messages like that from people, Quenna, the penny is definitely starting to drop, because it's becoming more live and more tangible now.
Yeah. And that's so cool, because, and I think that it's important, and us as affiliates, everyone, it's very important that we don't write something off too soon, because, at first it was just the phone, the CEMs, the WIMs, and then, now all the beautiful stuff that we'll be able to use with the e-points is it's phenomenal. And moving into gold and carrot bit and fiat and all that, it's very, very exciting. So but that kind of leads me, Nitsa, to making sure that people know, because I see a lot of questions about when are the CEMs going to get the replenishing of the cash code? When can we expect the WIM laptops? We've got the issues of, what's going on with China and all of that. And definitely, I mean, it's affecting us in the building industry. We've got materials over there, front doors that we can't get, that are made there that we can, so it's affecting all over the place. And then the K1 Impulse, I mean, people, all we have to relate that to is kind of our iPhone or our Android or whatever. And really understanding how this is a bank in the palm of our hand, and the privacy and the security that this provides. But I thought maybe you could give everybody a quick update on, the cash code being delivered, the WIM deliveries, and, and then kind of talk a little bit on the K1 Impulse.
Yes. So I being a K1 Impulse owner, a WIM laptop owner, and a CEM owner, can say that I'm very, very excited about this technology and the direction with these products. And I'm also understanding that it is just the beginning. Mr. Seitz addressed in the presentation, Quenna, that all of the products now, the K1 Impulse phone, that they have already sent about 20,000 phones have been delivered successfully in the market, and another 20,000 to go. So everybody who has ordered a phone, will receive their phone. And the company is mailing about 1,500 phones a day, I've heard. So that's quite a bit. Within the next 30 days or so, we should have everybody in the field, with their K1 phone. The WIM computer, we do have a timeline that says April. Mr. Seitz said that he would be coming back to us, with information closer to that time about the WIM. And CEMs are, the first 200 are in the market. We have several here in Vancouver. We've already, some have already received their refills, and the company has promised, and there has been no change to that, to continue to refill those machines, to basically honor all QR codes. So everybody that has a QR code will be able to visit a CEM near them, or if they get an appointment at corporate, and they can exchange, their QR codes into cash gold there. Just speaking on cash gold, I wanted to add one thing, Quenna, before I talk about a little bit about, my feeling around the K1 Impulse phone. A lot of you that have the cash gold, today, we were blessed with commissions in cash gold. You'll see that in your back office when you go to the My Gold section and click on Transaction Overview. You'll be able to see your e-points that you accumulated over the past, 2 months since the program first started, and you'll be able to see the cash gold that you have. The cash gold is now in your gold account. So for any of you that, ultimately we stack cash gold, we save it, at least that's what I'm doing. But if anybody wishes to use their cash gold, you can now, move that into your Carrot Pay wallet. You can move it into Carrotbit. Granted, there is an 8-week hold moving cash gold from Carrot Pay onto Carrotbit. But after that 8-week hold is over, you'll have access to that cash gold on Carrotbit if you choose to use it, to transfer it, into US dollar, or to use it, to exchange into coins. So it's there. It is such a blessing and really a testament. We've been saying and educating people for years how great and important it is to save in assets, and that's our choice. And now, not only do we have the ability to save and build our assets, but we are being paid in assets, Quenna. And I think once the field really starts to understand how important this is, especially in today's time, with so much unrest going on in the world, I really, really, really think that Carrot Bars will be a company that everyone will be flocking to because of our reward system. Do you have anything, did you want to say anything about that?
No, we're good. We're good to keep going. Were you gonna?
I'm just looking at my,
Yeah.
I'm looking at one of my 12 K1 Impulse phones. I have one in each color. This is my gold one. and you know, I am not that technologically advanced. I have to say I'm a little bit of a dinosaur, but I definitely am a businesswoman. And what we have in the palm of our hands here, everybody, and this is, I just really, really ask for the field to be patient. This is ground-breaking technology. This is something that no one has. I've been involved in conversations with, you know, business owners, Quenna, international business owners that are literally talking about hundreds of millions of dollars that they wish to invest in this product.
Wow.
And these are not, you know, everyday mom and pop, you know, these are big time investors, global companies around the world, tens of millions in assets and billions in terms of net worth. And they see it. They see the power in what we have. This is a big, big, big opportunity for us in the field. First and foremost, we're breaking ground into becoming self-sovereign. And we like to use these words a lot, but you know, I question sometimes if people really understand what they say, you know, or what they're saying when they say, I wish to be sovereign. You know, it's so much more than sovereignty in the financial, you know, world. It comes with everything. It comes in our own personal choices. It comes in how we get educated, health decisions, certainly financial, but privacy is a big one. And this phone, not only does it give us ultimate privacy and security, which over time will save people thousands of dollars. If you want to look at it from a cost perspective, is it a good idea? Am I going to get my value out of my phone? The answer is yes. The world is changing. Cyber crime is becoming more and more prevalent in the world, and it's going to get even worse. We will see security systems continue to improve, and we will see them become more and more costly as time goes on. So just from a cost perspective, everyone, you have got a device that gives you a level of protection and security that you cannot find. You cannot find out there. And that is going to save you. If you're worried about cost, it's going to save you a lot of money. And I say that because I've heard that there's some people, Quenna, that are returning their phones.
Yeah.
It just absolutely, I just don't understand this logic of how people look at this and just see it and try to compare it to, you know, our regular phone. We are coming out of this into this to help solve big problems in our lives, like security. And right now, that might not be a big thing for us, Quenna, but as time goes on, especially as we start to move into some harder times economically, this becomes an even bigger reason, because when people get desperate, they do crazy things, you know. And I personally love this phone for 3 reasons. One, of course, privacy, security. I understand the value behind that. I absolutely see this as a way to, for, you know, me as an individual, but also as a business owner, to save a lot of money over time. But more than that, Quenna, this is about becoming self-sovereign. We all have assets in gold, and we have assets in cryptocurrency that we need to control ourselves, right? If our money is not in our hands, then it's not our money. And that includes every exchange, and it includes Carrot Bar's exchange. Now, I trust Carrot Bar's inexplicitly. I've got a lot of coins on the Carrot Bar's exchange, but as a fundamental, I don't keep coins on any exchange. So I can't wait for the actual wallet to turn on, because one of the first things I'm going to do is, as we're getting all of our node payouts and soon what's coming with our new products and continued, you know, even increases in Carrot Bar's KBC payouts, one of the first things I'm going to do is move them onto here, and not just those, but really all the other variant cryptocurrencies, the few anyway, that I hold. And, you know, this is tied to the entire ecosystem. So we'll be able to do it with gold. We'll have access to the blockchain through here. We have the ability to have access to the bank through here when the bank comes live. This is indeed like holding a bank in your hand, Quenna.
Yes.
So it's so much more than a phone. The phone is very one-dimensional communication, one-dimensional. But when we factor in everything, especially on this path of, you know, self-sovereignty, we must understand that we have something groundbreaking that everybody will want. So right now, the technical team is making updates. We've seen many updates, you know, to the phone. They're adding new apps. They're adding, you know, new features. But at the same time, they have to maintain the integrity of the project, which is security. We don't want to have all of the apps that we have on our phone available on here, because, you know, that could become a breach of security, and it goes against, you know, the purpose of the phone, of this device. So I think maybe the smart thing that we can all do is, instead of just calling it a phone, you know, we start to call it, you know, a device, because it is so much more than just a phone and a communications tool.
Absolutely. I'm so excited about that device. I think that it's amazing for the reasons that you've said. You know, I wanna now move into KBC, our precious baby, and I think a lot of times this is something else, because of a lack of knowledge and understanding. You know, we play such a big part in the success of our coin. And I want you to touch on that, because, you know, talking about the price, what has to happen in order for the price to increase, what the focus of the company is right now. This is one of the reasons why I love Carrot Bars and why I love Mr. Sites, and also our leadership, is because if we need to adjust, if we need, you know, for the short term, in order for the success of the project of what we've got going on, I trust and believe that they're making the right decisions. But, you know, not just the price of the coin and everything, but all of the e-points, what's to come, the things that are rolling out. I was so excited. And I want everybody to hear this, because, you know, it's amazing what the company is doing and how this all goes back to, you know, also the price of our coins. So I'm going to let you speak to that a little bit, if you don't mind.
Yeah, no, I'd love to, because that's really the topic right now, and the focus of Carrot Bars right now is to really engage community. It's all about community engagement, and all of us now working together, deploying our greatest asset, which is the teams, to help help the project, you know. So, you know, after every, if we just look historically at different ICOs, you know, around the world, the same thing happens typically after every ICO. And that is coin falls in value, right? Because all the pre-sales were made, coin goes on the exchange and people start selling. That's typically what happens with every ICO. And we weren't, you know, very far off from that. It was just that who was selling our coins wasn't our community. They were stolen coins. And we know the story, and I'm not here to, you know, talk about the story, but that created a big dip, you know, in our coin, and we all know that. And the company has had to make a few adjustments because of that, though. And one of the adjustments was you know, of course, we all know we've got our technology products. These are created to utilize KBC, and, you know, we were set on the path. But, you know, we also understand that these technology products are going to take some time. And they're going to take some time before we have, you know, the level of engagement that can, you know, make a big difference, right, to the coin. So I absolutely love, and I'm so happy that Mr. Seitz has taken a few months to kind of redirect the sales. You know, we're still going in the same direction. Our mission is and remains, you know, gold to the masses, now through blockchain technology, next generation, you know, products. And let's align with our greatest strength, which is our community, and bring out some products that we all need, that we all want, that many of us have been asking for, that can also create utilization for KBC. So even though, you know, we weren't aware that crypto debit cards were coming this fast, and we weren't aware of a trading platform, which the field is buzzing about, Quenna.
Yeah.
You know, but these are the things that we can all engage in over the next, you know, 2 to 3 months. These are coming out and are going to make a difference. So yeah, what we see right now, Quenna and everyone, is we've got about $18 million US dollars in KBC. That's our market cap for KBC. And what we really want out of our community is we want people to hold, not just hold, but buy and hold, buy and hold. That's the strategy right now for Karatbar's affiliates. And if anybody on this line believes in this project, then there's no such thing as having too many coins. There's no such thing as having too many coins. If you believe in the validity, in the big picture of this project, then there's no such thing, because KBC is at its all-time low right now. There's never been a better time to buy it, and probably there will never be a better opportunity for the type of increase, you know, that is available now through this coin at 0.4 cents. So we got to work as a community now to, you know, grow the coin, the market capitalization. We really want to encourage our field not to sell KBCs. And I realize that, you know, many of us have been, you know, using strategies to use KBCs to you know, exchange to Bitcoin and then to buy our packages. I understand that fully, and we can't ultimately tell people what to do, you know, with their money. They put their money into this project. If they wish to allocate those funds in a different way, i.e. into Bitcoin and then packages to give them a better earning potential, it's a sound strategy. It's a good strategy. But I also just want to, you know, caution everybody that if we continue to do that and we're not buying more coins or or for every coin we sell, we buy more. If we're not doing that, then ultimately we are hurting, we're hurting the coin. So here's what I believe this community, it's going to happen with this community now that we're really shedding the light on this topic, Quenna, is we will have more and more people today, not just the traders, not just those who know how to go and acquire Bitcoin and go to the exchanges and buy Bitcoin. I believe that more and more people in this community, first-time people, are going to be acquiring KBC. And with our new debit cards, cards, we will be able to do that very easily. We will be able to go from fiat into crypto, and then, from fiat into Bitcoin, and then exchange Bitcoin to KBC just like that, literally right from our device, or from, our laptop anywhere in the world. We will be able to make that and not have to be experienced, traders, or, have accounts on all these different exchanges to be able to do that. So we all want to continue to acquire, buy more KBC, continue to buy more KBC, everybody, and hold it. The next 2 years is our time, and it's our time to work on this project. It's our time to really grow this project. It's our time to get our products out into the market in a big scope. And those people who stay the course and do those things are going to win really, really big.
Yeah, so that's awesome. And one of the things too, and as far as acquiring KBC, and there's even been, some things in the chat here about, wanting to know the easiest way to, it has been a little bit difficult to, especially for people that are not used to going on, like Coinbase or whatever, getting Bitcoin, send it over to Carrotbit. And so we are right here at the edge of, and corporate is making it. As the developments are coming out, it's going to be easier and easier and easier to acquire KBC. So it's coming, everybody. But I think even when people know, I need to acquire more KBC, but it just seems too difficult, I don't know what to do, and I want somebody to hold my hand because it seems scary or whatever, it's coming into play to where it's going to be easier and easier. The last thing before we let everybody go, there is a huge thing that's happening. And that is that this year, in a few months, Carrot Pay, the ultimate goal of our company is getting gold to the hands of the masses of people, and that is the ultimate goal. But Carrot Pay is actually going to start being on the blockchain, and that's huge. And so how you explained that, this week was phenomenal. And I wanted you to share that with people, just give them a little taste of what that means.
That has to be the biggest announcement that Karatbars has made this year, certainly, but really I think in the whole scope of the project, Quenna, because Carrot Pay on the blockchain simply means gold on the blockchain, and not a coin that's linked to gold, which is driven by market demand, but physical gold, which is not volatile, is not subject to the volatility of any cryptocurrency. And that is huge. First and foremost, we have the ability to use it easier on the blockchain, exchange it easier on the blockchain, hold it. That's a big one, everybody, because again, let's remember, if we don't physically hold our gold, okay, it's not really our gold. We have gold. I have gold, a lot of gold at Karatbars. I also have other, vaults around the world, and sure, they show an asset, value. However, unless it's in our hands, it's not really ours. Mm-hmm. So where can we really go holding gold? Can we walk down the street with it? Can we travel with it? if we're going to take a vacation, do we take it with us? No. The blockchain gives us that. It gives us true transparency, yes, decentralization, yes, but also the ability to make it portable. And I think that's a big one for a lot of people. But when I'm going to tell you what gets me the most excited. We have seen just even this last little bit, what has happened this last week. Stock markets had just a crazy dip, 3,000, I think, points for the Dow, and then the following day, another 1,000 points. A few days after that, the Fed cut interest rates by 0.5%, and they did that kind of in an emergency 911, situation. The following day, you see, the Australian bank, you see the Bank of Canada following suit. And we're talking about at a time when interest rates, the last time this happened, interest rates were upwards of 5%, 6, 7%, and they cut it by 0.5 percentage. We were dealing with interest rates under 2% that were cut by 0.5%. We've seen 1/3 of the interest rate slashed. We're headed into negative interest rates here in North America and the world. It is what it is, and it's coming, and it's going to set off other world events. So here's where I'm getting at. Accumulating gold. This company started in 2008 after the last recession, teaching people the importance of accumulating gold. And we maintained that. We continue that.
Yes.
And then we moved to the blockchain, same message, but on the blockchain. We have seen gold in this last year, Quenna, grow by 20, 30% in a year, and it's just starting.
Yes.
Gold will do its thing. It's the beginning point. So take all of this into consideration now. And think about the markets moving, money coming out of stocks, going into gold, money coming out of other asset classes, moving into crypto. Gold and crypto are the two, in my opinion, the two safest asset class. Of course, property, real estate, but yet real estate is also volatile in a recession. And I say that from my experience because I lost everything, all of my assets in real estate after 2008. Yeah. Crypto and gold are the safest asset class in a recession because these are the alternatives that people go to when strife happens, when market conditions worsen. People go to gold and people look for alternates, and that is cryptocurrency. So as people are working with their cryptocurrency and as traders work with cryptocurrency, we can find these figures on CoinMarketCap. There's $40 billion a day, Quenna, that are traded in cryptocurrency, 40 billion. And do you realize in between going from point A to point B, sometimes what happens, or after a trade, what a lot of traders do, they hold value where? In a stable coin. They look for a stable coin such as USDT, and they hold their value there until they make the next trade. And then they make the next trade. So we are bringing an alternate, and can we call it an alternate? It is the best. Yeah. But it is an alternate to the market of a stable coin. And from a business perspective, when you look at a market that is $40 billion a day, and you say, okay, and now we're bringing not the dollar, we're bringing gold to that market. I think we have tremendous potential here, to carve a piece of that 40 billion a day, Quenna, and everything, Carrot Pay, all of it then supports. It's a self-feeding system. Everything that happens with Carrot Pay on the blockchain affects KBC, affects the whole project. So I'm really excited about it. I'm excited for the solutions that will come to the market with Carrot Pay going to the market. The field will love it because it will give you easy access to your gold. It'll give you a way to hold it, keep it portable, use it, exchange it. And we will bring a big solution, if you will, to the crypto space, with a stable coin. And I believe amazing things, great things are going to come from that, Quenna.
Me too. And one of the things that I really thought was important that was talked about was how, Mr. Sites, because of all of the stuff that's right now, I mean, very recent developments this week that have been talked about, with the economy and the interest rates and all that, he's kind of putting this as one of his main focuses, is Carrot Pay being on the blockchain. And it's all about getting gold into the hands of the masses of people and doing it in this way, which I think is so totally, awesome. With how committed that he is, even in going in these, despite what the people are saying or not understanding or whatever, he keeps, I just keep seeing him. I think it was in Los Angeles when it was so prominent in my mind, where he was talking about, don't go to the left, don't go to the right, but stay focused, stay straight, stay going. And I think it's important that we follow suit with him as he does this with us, and he shows us what this means. Because if there was anybody that could walk away, it's him. He could do that. And I just think that it's so important that we see that example in him, that he sticks to this, because he sees what's going on, like what you were talking about, the whole thing of the economy and things that we don't see. It's so important that we trust and we believe that that where we're going right now, the fiat and the value and the money, the printing and everything, and how that goes down. And we've got gold, and we see the increase in gold, and it's so awesome, this whole entire thing, how there's so many intricate pieces to it, but how it's all coming together, and all the puzzle pieces coming together. And that was one of the things too that we touched on in the leadership, is like with Carrot Pay going on the blockchain, it's kind of like it's the full circle of what we're doing with the ecosystem. And I thought that was beautiful. But as we close today, and we've got the affiliates. I mean, I'm looking at the attendance, and I know that we've been on here for an hour and 20 minutes, and we haven't lost but maybe not even 10 people. And that's amazing to me, because people they're wanting answers. They're wanting to they're wanting to have a good understanding of what we're doing, and you definitely have done that. But as we're leaving today, what can we do today that would be the very best thing that we could do to impact our lives individually, but also the company, and impact the project today? What can we do today?
Mm-hmm. Always the most important thing, right? When we do a meeting, and is to know where we're going. I think for everybody is, first and foremost, you tell more people. We need to tell more people about what we have, and we need to keep it simple, everybody. We are a gold business. We have a money system where we help people acquire assets and build their assets. And when you refer other people, you could get your assets for free. You can get paid in assets. I mean, really, that's the bottom line. Let them see, the information themselves. Point them to a video, point them to, some information in the presentation in the back office, but don't try to be selling and telling. More than anything, I look at it as a 3-part thing. Every single day we need to work on ourselves, every single day, and practice that. getting through periods like this, Quenna, where 3 months, a lot of people waiting, wondering, that takes a lot of patience. It takes a lot of self-development, and it takes continual, digging in and acknowledging your why you're in this.
Mhm.
And I believe in, and I'll just say it, okay, that I think the people that were in Carrot Bars just for the money, okay, they're probably not here anymore. The ones that are in it for the bigger picture, of course, they see money. We're all entrepreneurs, but they see a much larger play at hand, the ability to make changes in the world. And certainly the older we get, the more that becomes more and more and more important, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So every day, not just today, we work on ourselves, whatever that looks like for you. For me, it's reading 11 pages a day of a book. It's meditating every single day. It's trying to get into nature every single day, and get around some good, positive people, material, information, and learn. Secondly is talk to people every day. And I know this sounds so rudimentary. It's not a big master, conversation, but that's the nature of building a network. It's about a few who tell a few, who tell a few, who tell a few, who tell a few. Today, for a lot of people, when they logged into their back office, Quenna, and they saw on the dashboard a commission amount in euros, whatever that was, 100 euros, 1,000 euros, whatever that is. And then equally, they went into their back office and clicked on My Gold and looked under transactions overview, and they saw e-points and they saw cash gold. That is also like looking on the front page of your dashboard and saying, I just made 100 euros, this week, or 1,000 euros this week.
Absolutely.
The number of e-points you have, are your assets, and you will be able to exchange those soon into KBC and even soon into fiat currency if you choose. Same with cash gold. So our play is very simple right now, Quenna. Our call to action in this field. Today is March the 7th.
Yeah.
We have 8 days to position with a multi-pack.
That's right.
It's called First Purchase. And this is important, guys. And if it's not important, go talk to somebody in your team that has been building and let them show you the cool reports that were just posted of all the e-points and all the cash gold we're earning. March 15th, we have the ability to purchase this multi-package and get a first purchase, be grandfathered into the first purchase. This is for all existing affiliates. New affiliates who buy a multi-package get 6 months e-points and cash gold bonus. Existing affiliates who buy the multi-package get 6 months if we buy prior to the 15th. If you want the full year, then you look at the top pack, which is obviously the VIP pack, and that gives you the full year. So I would say absolutely, you work on yourself every day. Aim to talk to even 2 people a day. 2 people is a part-time endeavor. And it's something that everybody can do. I realize that 5 or 10 or 20 people a day can seem daunting, but Quenna, I went from part-time network marketing to full-time network marketing in a period of a few years following that simple plan. 2 people a day. And I made sure that I did not go to sleep at night until I had at least exposed my information, found a couple of people who were interested enough to say, send me something. Sure, I'll take a look at that. And I made that my goal, and I did that every single day. And not only was I able to go full time, but all of the momentum of that, Quenna, over time, my very first year that I went full time, I made 6 figures in that year, and I've never looked back. So position yourself with with a multi-package, everybody, and let's get to work telling more people about this incredible company we have, this incredible mission, the ability that we have to earn assets, appreciating assets, the safest, best asset classes in any type of a recession, and everybody's going to be, in 3 months from now, I can assure you, we can come back on the coffee call, and it's going to be, we'll have triple the amount of people and conversations that are going to be quite extraordinary in terms of success in the field.
Oh my goodness. I'm believing that. I think that this is going to be amazing. The best is yet to come. I love the fact that we're paid in e-points, in gold, in euro. It is just amazing to me, and I think it's so important that people grab a hold of that, guys. Now is the time. It is the time. And Nitsa, I just want to thank you so much. My goodness, such wonderful information today. It's greatly appreciated. Thank you for taking the time to spend coffee time with us, or water with lemon, or whatever. And it's just, to me, it's just been great, absolutely wonderful. So I want to thank you for being with us. I want to thank everybody for tuning in with us today. Let's go and make it a great weekend. The next event that we're having is the Monday night team huddle. It's here at the same station, www.synergygoteam.com, at 9:00 p.m. Eastern, 8:00 p.m. Central. And there will be lots of information there. You definitely want to be plugging in now, because now we've got these things all rolling out. The recording will be up sometime today. Perla will get that on the YouTube channel, Coffee with Quenna and Friends. It will be on by tonight. And we want you all to have a great day. Thank you so much for being on board with us today. Y'all have a great weekend, and we'll see you later. Love you, Nitsa.
Love you too, Quenna. Thank you. Love you all, guys. Have a wonderful weekend. Bye for now.
Bye-bye, everybody.